Convenient or fulfilling prophecy, I have to admit that I still don't fully believe who and what I am. I, the Neverine, has returned just a year after the Tribunal's powers have weakened to the point where they cannot stop Dagoth-Ur. It makes sense, and it all works. But do I believe it? I do and don't. Some part of me is still holding on to the belief that all of this isn't real. Maybe that part of me thinks that this is just a dream. It's just a fantasy of my imagination. Or it's just a story that I got lost in while reading and cannot find my way out. Maybe it's not just the Neverine business. Maybe it started when I was put in prison for the murder I didn't commit of my friend, Vinius Salis. I don't know, but I guess I feel this way because in some sense I am still that lost little boy, homeless in Vivec. You're no good street rat and don't deserve anything good. This is the view of many people in Vivec, especially the ordinators when I was young. The tribunal priests would sometimes be kind, and if one was lucky, when an ordinator harassed you and threatened you, a priest would happen to be near, and they would tell the ordinator to back off and leave us alone. Once in a while, a child was taken in by the temple to serve them. They would get food, clothing, and a bed, and it was like they suddenly had been blessed by the gods. We all envied that child. I was never chosen, of course, not by a priest of the tribunal, but instead from a priest of the 9 divines. I was no less blessed by the gods for this chance, and although it was a strange foreigner, I agreed to do it. But I never felt that I was worthy of it. I was always that little street rat, and in a way, I suppose, I will always be that little street rat, and this is the part of me that doesn't feel like this is real, because Sunil Relvain isn't worthy of it. Well, I don't think I had to go that far. This looks like a Ashlander camp down there, and that's the ancestor tomb, correct? Radas tomb. So I need the Radas war axe, Radas chalice, and the Radas robe of deeds. So 3 things from Radas tomb. It is south of Molag Mar, over the mountains, and then it gets really confusing. But this looks like an Ashlander camp right here. To go see if they're going to be hostile. I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Yanet Shishabani. How can I help you? Oh.
3 blessings to you.
So you're not going to be hostile. That's good. It's actually quite rare. Yeah, I knew my danger sense was on. Oh, I might as well get that one.
I have you. I'm so hungry. I could eat.
Okay, so I assume this is the tomb. It's got to be. Why didn't they just say it's south over the hills? G-Line. Are we disturbing the dead for a particular reason, or is this just a hobby of yours? It seems to be a hobby because we keep doing it. No traps I can detect. Not locked. A scamp. Fire atronach.
You don't deserve to live.
And it's dead. My bow is very powerful. There's something on the other side. It's a Daedroth. Blocking the door. Okay, so 3 items we need. 3 items. There's a golden saint over here. I wonder if I couldn't... I think I have one soul gem capable of holding her soul. Didn't successfully work. Okay. For some reason. There's a chest over there. Shrine of the Tribunal. CV Restoration. In case I required it. No traps. Not locked. Because it's a tomb, We'll just leave it. But I assume that I'm going to have to go through there. Daedroth is in the way. I can't open the door. Ah. Vader on the other side won't let me through. Alright. Only have one way to go. And it's this way. Just in case. Water breathing. Oh, I don't like these things. I don't like the cold. Julian? Ah, I got it. I can imagine, in Solstheim, these things will be all over the place. It's cold, it's cold. Another golden saint. Take her heart. Well... I'm looking for these items, so I've got to check. Were we after a war axe? So, war axe, okay, chalice, and robe of deeds. This is what we came here to get. War axe, chalice, and robe of deeds. I'll bet you the other one is past that Daedra. Might as well look. Chalice and robe of deeds. I wonder if we wait for a while if it will go away. Let's go outside. That... Okay, got dark fast. Let's wait here for an hour. Shani. I hate nights when I can't see the moons and stars properly. They make me feel safe. My father taught me the stars and the names of all the patterns they make, like the Lover and the Tower and the rest. I never bothered to learn all of them. I know of a few of them. So what did he teach you? When I was little, he used to lift me up until all I could see was stars, and I felt like I was falling into the sky. I'd scream and beg him to put me down, and he'd just laugh and hold me higher. I think that's my happiest memory of him and me together. It's not my happiest memory about stars, though. What's that, then? One night, years ago, I was in this little boat with Julian that we'd stolen from the docks at Voss and rowed out into the bay. And after a while, after we stopped yelling at each other, I remember lying there, half drunk and mostly naked, telling him the names of the stars and making up stories about them for him and painting colors on the sky with my fingers. And he was laughing into my hair, and I suddenly realized that I didn't care anymore that we'd lost the oars and my shirt in the water, and I didn't even care that we didn't know where we drifted or how we were going to get home because I was in love. You know, I'm not sure if that's a happy memory or a sad one. You're making up stories about the stars to Julian? You want me to tell you one of my stories again? No. That's fine. Not the moment. Okay. Learning more and more about her. Okay, sneak. I don't know about you guys, but I've learned to sneak pretty well in the last year. If it doesn't know we're here, it might not be blocking the door. Ah, it worked. Die, Daedra! Skin and heart. Okay, so here's the robe, here's the chalice. And I haven't disturbed anything here other than killing the Daedra and taking the 3 items I came to get. Come on, let's close the door. CV should take me right to Molag Mar. Take us.
How are you?
Right back into the ash storm. Well, the temple has been ordered to accept me. Let's see what they'll do for me here. Before I do that, though, I had forgotten that. I mean, I read Dagoth Ur's plans, or didn't I? I don't know. I've read 2 of them. Kaganak's tools, Nerevar at Red Mountain. I'm actually quite interested in this. Plan to defeat... this is what I read through this. Yeah, phase raids upon the ash. Read through that. 7 visions, 7 curses, the stranger, lost prophecy. Plans to defeat Dagoth Ur. Already read that. The Battle of Red Mountain. I believe this one and Nerevar at Red Mountain. I have not read. So I'll read the Battle of Red Mountain. As long as the other one, the first one. The Battle of Red Mountain and the Rise and Fall of the Tribunal. The following is a transcript of the words of Lord Vivec, addressed to a dissident priest, Malur Olmain, who confronted Vivec with the Ashlander traditions surrounding the Battle of Red Mountain and with prophecies of the Nerevarine, and to unnamed magistrates of the Inquisition who joined Vivec in interrogating the dissident priest. Who can clearly recall the events of the distant past? But you have asked me to tell you, in my own words, the events surrounding the Battle of Red Mountain, the birth of the Tribunal, and the prophecies of a Nerevar reborn. Here's what I can tell you. When the Chimera first abandoned the herds and tents of their nomadic ancestors and built the first great houses, we loved the Daedra and worshipped them as gods. But our brethren, the Dwemer, scorned the Daedra and mocked our foolish rituals and preferred instead their gods of reason and logic. So the Chimera and Dwemer were always at bitter war, until the Nords came and invaded Resdain. Only then did the Chimera and Dwemer put away their strife and join together to cast out the invaders. Once the Nords were driven out, General Nerevar of the Chimera and General Dumac of the Dwemer, who had come to love and respect one another, resolved to make peace between their peoples. In that time I was but a junior counselor to Nerevar, and Nerevar's queen, Amalexia, and his other favorite counselor, Sothasil, always doubted that such a peace might long survive, given the bitter disputes between Chimera and Dwemer. But by negotiation and compromise, Nerevar and Dumac somehow managed to preserve a fragile peace. But when Dagoth Ur, Lord of House Dagoth, and a trusted friend by both Nerevar and the Dwemer, brought us proof that High Engineer Kagranak of the Dwemer had discovered the heart of Lorcan, and that he had learned how to tap its powers, and was building a new god, a mockery of the Chimera faith, and a fearsome weapon, we all urged Nerevar to make war on the dwarves and to destroy this threat to Chimera beliefs and security. Nerevar was troubled. He went to Dumac and asked if what Dagoth Ur said was true, but Kagranak took great offense and asked whom Nerevar thought he was, that he might presume to judge the affairs of the Dwemer. Nerevar was further troubled and made pilgrimage to Holmain, the sacred temple of Azur, and Azur confirmed that all that Dagoth Ur said was indeed true, and that the creation of a new god of the Dwemer should be prevented at all costs. When Nerevar came back and told us what the goddess had said, we felt our judgments confirmed, and again counseled him to war, chiding Nerevar for his naive trust in friendship, and reminding Nerevar of his duty to protect the faith and security of the Chimera against the impiety and dangerous ambitions of the Dwemer. Then Nerevar went back to Vardenfell one last time, hoping that negotiations and compromise might once again preserve the peace, but this time, the friends Nerevar and Dumac quarreled bitterly, and as a result, the Chimera and Dwemer went to war. The Dwemer were well defended by their fortress at Red Mountain, but Nerevar's cunning drew most of Dumac's armies out into the field and pinned them there, while Nerevar, Dagoth Ur, and a small group of companions could make their way into the Heart Chamber by secret means. There, Nerevar, the Chimera King, met Dumac the Dwarf King, and they both collapsed from grievous wounds and draining magics. With Dumac fallen and threatened by Dagoth Ur and others, Kagranak turned his tools upon the heart, and Nerevar said he saw Kagranak and all his Dwemer companions at once disappear from the world. In that instant, Dwemer everywhere disappeared without a trace, but Kagranak's tools remained, and Dagoth-Ur seized them, and he carried them to Nerevar, saying, "That fool, Kagranak, has destroyed his own people with these things. We should destroy them, right away, lest they fall into the wrong hands." I wish my former incarnation did. None of this would happen. We wouldn't be in this position. Who knows what would happen in the last 3,500 plus years, though. Morrowind. We wouldn't be Dunmer. We would still be Chimer, and we'd look just like the Altmer, I assume. But Nerevar was resolved to confer with his queen and his generals, who had foreseen that this war would come and whose counsel he would not ignore again. "I will ask the tribunal what we shall do with them, for they have had wisdom in the past that I had not. Stay here, loyal Dagoth-Ur, until I return." So Nerevar told Dagoth-Ur to protect the tools and the heart chamber until he returned. Then Nerevar was carried to us where we waited on the slopes of Red Mountain, and he told us all that had transpired under Red Mountain. What Nerevar had said was that the Dwemer had used special tools to turn the people into immortals, and that the Heart of Lorkhan held wondrous powers. Only later did we hear from others present that Dagoth-Ur had thought the Dwemer destroyed, not made immortal, and no one knows for sure what really happened there. After hearing Nerevar, we gave our counsel as requested, proposing we should preserve these tools in trust for the welfare of the Chimer people, and who knows, perhaps the Dwemer are not gone forever, but merely transported to some distant realm, from which they may someday return to threaten our security once again. Therefore, we need to keep these tools, to study them and their principles, so that we may be safe in future generations. And though Nerevar voiced his grave misgivings, he was willing to be ruled by our council, under one condition, that we all together should swear a solemn oath upon Azura that the tools would never be used in the profane manner that the Dwemer had intended. We all readily agreed and swore solemn oaths at Nerevar's dictation. So then we went with Nerevar back into Red Mountain and met with Dagoth-Ur. Dagoth-Ur refused to deliver the tools to us, saying they were dangerous and we could not touch them. Dagoth-Ur seemed to be irrational, insisting that only he could be trusted with the tools, and then we guessed that he had somehow been affected by his handling of the tools. But now I feel sure that he had privately learned the powers of the tools and had in some confused way decided he must have them for himself. Then Nerevar and our guard resorted to force to secure the tools. Somehow, Dagoth-Ur and his retainers escaped, but we gained the tools and delivered them to Sothasil for study and safekeeping. For some years, we kept the oaths we swore to Azura with Nerevar, but during that time, in secret, Sothasil must have studied the tools and divined their mysteries, and at last he came to us with the vision of a new world of peace, with justice and honor for nobles, and health and prosperity for the commoners, with the tribunal as immortal patrons and guides. And dedicating ourselves to this vision of a better world, we made a pilgrimage to Red Mountain and transformed ourselves with the power of Kagranak's tools. And no sooner than we had completed our rituals and begun to discover our newfound powers, the Daedra Lord Azura appeared and cursed us for our forsworn oaths. By her powers of prophecy, she assured us that her champion, Nerevar, true to his oath, would return to punish us for our perfidy, and to make sure such profane knowledge might never again be used to mock and defy the will of the gods. But Sothasil said to her, "The old gods are cruel and arbitrary, and distant from the hopes and fears of Mer. Your age is past. We are the new gods, born of the flesh, and wise and caring of the needs of our people. Spare us your threats and chiding. In constant spirit, we are bold and fresh, and will not fear you." It's pretty brave of him. And then in that moment, all Chimer were changed into Dunmer, and our skins turned ashen and our eyes into fire. Of course, we only knew at that time that this had happened to us, but Azura said, "This is not my act, but your act. You have chosen your fate, and the fate of your people, and all the Dunmer shall share your fate, from now to the end of time. You think yourselves gods, but you are blind, and all is darkness." And Azura left us alone, in darkness, and we were all afraid. But we put on brave faces and went forth from Red Mountain to build the new world of our dreams. And the new world we shaped was glorious and generous, and the worship of the Dunmer fervent and grateful. The Dunmer were at first afraid of their new faces, but Sothasil spoke to them, saying that it was not a curse but a blessing, a sign of their changed natures, and sign of the special favor they might enjoy as new Mer, no longer barbarians trembling before ghosts and spirits, but civilized Mer, speaking directly to their immortal friends and patrons and three faces of the tribunal. And we were all inspired by Sothasil's speech and vision and took heart. And over time, we crafted the customs and institutions of a just and honorable society, and the land of Resdan knew millennia of peace, equity, and prosperity unknown to other savage races. But beneath Red Mountain, Dagthor had survived. And even as the light of our bold new world shined ever more brightly, beneath Red Mountain, the darkness gathered, a darkness that was close kin to the bright light that sought the sail coasts from the heart of Lorcan with the tools of Kagranak. As the darkness grew, we fought it, and crafted walls to confine it, but we never could destroy it, for the source of the darkness was the same source as the source of our own divine inspiration. And in these later days of Morrowind, reduced to a subjugated province of the Western Empire, as the glory of the temple fades, and the dark tides rises from Red Mountain, we are reminded of Azura and her promised champion's return. We have waited, blind and in darkness, mere shadows drained of our ardent vision, in shame of our folly, in fear of our judgment, and in hope of our deliverance. We do not know if the Outlander claiming to fulfill the prophecies of the Nerevarine is our old companion, Nerevar Reborn, or a pawn of the Emperor, or a catspaw of Azura, or some simple twist of fate. But we insist you adhere to temple doctrine and conform to the strictures dividing the hierographa from the apographa, and that you not speak that which must not be spoken openly. Act as a dutiful priest should, in accordance with your vows of obedience to the canons and archcanons, and all will be forgiven. Defy me, and you will know what it is to stand against a god. Vivec. Alright. So he was telling a dissident priest they had captured this whole story? Okay. That just seems strange. Because I don't care who it is. I wouldn't believe in a lie. I don't know who it is we see for duties
So
here.
good to see you be done. See to it.
Greetings, No Relvain. I'm Saras Aurelu. Everyone here in Molag Mar is involved with the temple's outposts or pilgrimages in some way. Is there some specific place nearby you'd like to visit? So you know who I am. Who gives the duties around here? What is your background? Healer, hermit, hedge wizard, such titles don't really matter. I know the medicinal properties of Vardenfell's flora and fungi, and for a small fee, my potions and poultices are at your service, okay? I see. I don't know who to go to. Who would be the high priest? Maybe you.
I am blessed to be at your service, Outlander.
Are you here to serve the temple by performing duties, Curate, or have you come for something else? I'm here to perform duties. A villager in Talmora has fallen ill, but there is no temple in Talmora where she can go for healing. Go to Talmora and cure Let. The temple does not proselytize, but we do good works for non-believers. Let, a Redguard in Talmora, has swamp fever. Cure her of swamp fever and return to me. Talmora. Okay, so that... I actually have to go to Talmora, I believe, anyways, for somebody has to pay me for... There was a Dummer by Telvos that I brought his hides back some time ago. I forget who he told me to go see, and it isn't Talmora. Quickest way there would be to go to Sadithmora. Okay. Recall.
I could kill that one.
Low
Share
again.
your thoughts, friend. I enjoy the company.
Oh, it's actually late. Maybe I'll go spend the night in my home now that Caius has departed Vardenfell. I don't think he's coming back.
How are you?
Julian? Hey, what's that book you have there? What one are you looking at? Read anything interesting lately? Feel free to have a look at any I have. Unnamed book. He reads it, rubbing his neck. I did not need all those descriptions. Killing someone in battle is one thing. Throat slitting is just erg. Oh, really? Okay. I'll have to read that book. I'll have to see you... I have things to do on my own. Can I meet you someplace else later? Sure, I'll meet you in Aldrin. Okay.
May I help you?
Look at the stars. The serpent is moving against the mage. Is that a good portent or a bad one? I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I don't know the stars. Hello. I mean, you can see some stars that stick out more than the others. You could kind of make... I forget where the warrior was. I was shown a long time ago. That's my sign. Shani, let's go to the 8 plates, and afterwards we can retire to my place here in Balmora. We ate and drank a few of the 8 plates, and I even got up to tell a few jokes. The patrons laughed louder than I've ever heard them do so before, and I was given 50 gold for being so good at it. I felt her eyes on me the whole time, even when we ate our dinner. I don't know what it is, but there is a sudden intensity with Shani. Maybe she's trying to figure us out, or maybe her feelings out. I'm a little confused as well. I like her a lot, and it's hard to hold back how I feel, but I am. I will not let myself be hurt again. Not like last time. And last time, I held back as well. I guess it's easier to just meet someone, wake up next to them, and never see them again, than it is to love someone. At least for me. Maybe this is not the way it should be, and I know this. And I don't want that anymore. I want to find the right woman. I think I've found her, but she's just as lost or more so than I am. Afterwards, we went back to my place with the intention of a night of passion. You should remove that armor, Shani. Good idea, I hate wearing too much armor.
Go ahead.
Alright. Then let's go to bed. I thought you said we're going to. What's taking so long? I kissed her. Not long now. Let's just find somewhere. She slides her hands under my clothes. How about right here? Alright, right here. We have a bed. With limitless energy, Shani gets me exactly where she wants me. Shani says, "Arg, you're in my hair, my hair." Sorry. Are you okay? Irritably, she says, "Sex with you is getting all weird. I don't like it." Excuse me? Getting all weird? No, I don't mean it's bad. You haven't been doing the things I warned you not to, or anything like that. You're doing all the right things to my body. It's just getting weird in my head. It's not your fault. Or maybe it is. How is what my fault? It's the way you look at me. Sometimes. You're looking too hard, like you're trying to look behind my eyes, like taking my clothes off isn't enough for you. You want to take my skin off, too. Stop it. Stop looking at you? Don't be an idiot. You can look at me normally, just not like that. Like what? I don't know how I'm looking at you. She sighs theatrically. You do know how. Just stop it, alright? I am confused. Women. I wrote in my journal, Shami told me off for looking too hard at her when we make love. When I tried to make her explain, she refused to talk anymore about it. Women.